So this screencast is going to take us through how to log into SchoolsPLP both as a student and as a parent. So we are here at the website. You can see it's bcesc.schoolsplp.com/login. So that's the URL, or that's the web address that you're going to use to get into the account. You're going to type in the student name, which I've already done, and then you're going to type in the password, which I'm doing now. We'll do this first as a student. We'll come back. The process is exactly the same as a parent, but you'll just click this box. But we're first going to log in and show you what this is like for a student. So this screencast is going to show you how to log in to SchoolsPLP as a student, and then it'll also show you how to log in as a parent. So the first thing that needs to be done is you'll type in the web address, or the URL, which you can see is up here, bcesc.schoolsplp.com/login. And then you're going to come down to the field here, and you're going to type in the student's name and the login information that you have been given, and the password that you will have been given. So I have logged in as Hank Aaron. So this is the first screen that's going to come up, which is my overview. This shows that Hank Aaron has been assigned to 1, 2, 3, 4, I think about 5 classes. One thing I do want to point out is if there are any messages for Hank Aaron, the message tab will come up first, and you must acknowledge any message. That doesn't mean you have to reply to a message, but you have to acknowledge a message until any of these other tabs will be available. So you can see here if I've received a message from Mr. Clark. If this was the first time I had seen it, there would be a little orange dot here that means it's a new email, and I would either acknowledge that I saw it or I could reply. Until you do that, none of these other tabs will be available to you as a student. So if there happened to be a new message here, I can go over to the Send Message tab. I can reply to either Mr. Clark, Ms. Schieffer, or Ms. Snellgrove in this example, or Ms. Chenoweth, and then I can send that message. Once I have acknowledged that I've read the message or sent a message back, then these other 3 tabs will be available. All 4 were available to me in this view because there were no new messages. Also, just as a point of emphasis, you can message teachers, teachers can message students, but students cannot message other students. So let's say I've replied to a message that I've had. Now I have access to all of the tabs. So if I go to the overview, it's going to list the courses I'm enrolled in. You can see that I can choose to work on this course, when the course starts and when it ends, the number of lessons that I finished today and how long that it took, what I have finished this week and how long it took for the week, and of the total number of lessons in the course, the number of lessons that I have completed. And here there is a moving bar graph that'll monitor my progress, and it'll do that for all of my courses. Over here under latest activity, this is similar to a Twitter or a social media feed, where if there's anything that has come through, those interactions will be listed over there on the right side of the page. I can also get a report card tab, which breaks down by classes, just in a different view. You know, assigned, due, I'm active in the course. What is my progress? Am I behind? Am I on track? Or in this case, the red is far behind. The days of instruction I've received, the hours that I've logged, and the rest of that data, including the credit. I can also look at daily activity, which you can see each day when I was actually logged into the learning and the total number of minutes that have been worked. When did I master it, and how many lessons did I finish? You can also see here that it'll show you different periods of time that you could look at. Okay, so let's do this. Let's actually go into, so that's your dashboard. That's what you're going to see when you open this up. But let's look at an elementary class, so what you can expect to see in a class. We're going to go to first grade mathematics. This happens to be a Lincoln Learning class. complete course mean A and B. It's a first semester and a second semester course. I can either click on the link, which is the course, or I can click on work on this course. When I do that, the screen is going to change, and now I am in my Lincoln Learning first grade mathematics course. So you can see here on the right-hand side of the page, what's highlighted is what I'm actually working on. You can see that the lessons that are coming up are made available there as well. If I need any help or assistance on this tab, there's frequently asked questions. There are things that you can also type in to look, and you can contact SchoolsPLP for assistance. So there is actually a help function there, more so probably for parents than for students. If I want to take a note, I can add a note, review. Let's see if I want to add a note, review later. Whatever I want to put, I can save that note. And now I have a note that I can look at. Up here you can go to full screen. There's also visual settings, so I can do a high contrast or add other visual indicators if that's going to be beneficial to the student. And the navigation of the course itself is by scrolling down. We'll look at this toolbar here in just a second, but you can see this is, I'm in a parent-teacher guide. If I go back to the contents, I'm going to go to a lesson. So let's go to, get back up to my course. And so in this view, you can see here's all, we were looking at course resources, but here are the actual lessons. So you can see Welcome to Mathematics 1, Watch It. So in Lincoln Learning, there's typically going to be things like watch it, teach it, read it. You can see show it. So this is the format in which the information or the curriculum, the lessons are represented. So if I want to come to Welcome to Mathematics 1, where I start, and you can see Welcome to Mathematics 1, click the play button to discover what you'll be learning. And in this case, you're going to see a video.
Hello and welcome to Mathematics 1. I am Ellie. I use my math skills every day when I check to make sure I've exercised for a full hour.
So that just shows you an example of a video. And if I'm finished watching the video, the one area of the screen you want to focus on, which is highlighted in the blue right here, we're going to go ahead and go to the next activity. So this activity, you can see you don't need to, but there is an option to print. This happens to be another video that's going to show you some mathematical rules. I'm going to go to the next activity. So this is a read it. So in read its, you can see there's going to be a little bit more text. Now in the read its, you do have some support features. Just I want to show you. So this navigation compass here can be moved anywhere on the screen. And if you click on the left arrow or the chevron, it's going to show you some of the accessibility tools. So if I click on the text and highlight this, and then I go ahead and hit the finger, okay, here's my text.
Think about all the places where you've seen numbers. Can you name at least 3 places? Answer. B. Mathematics.
If I click on the finger again, it will stop. So that just is a text-to-speech feature that is also helpful. Now, if I also highlight these, you can see here that I have a globe, okay, and that can translate it. Currently, this is set to translate from English to Spanish, so the globe is a translation feature. If I click back off of that, you can see there's a book here where it can provide you with some definitions of words. So there's another feature that's used with the book. There's also a post-it note feature where I can turn the book off. I can take a note. I'm just going to type in some nonsense just to show that it's typing. I'm going to save that note and get rid of this. And you can see that I'm going to, let's see right here. That's where I'm going to put my note. Read again. So there's a note that is there. This highlighter tool, I can highlight. I'm going to choose my color if I wanted to highlight certain parts of the text. I can clean up, remove my highlights. And then the gear here allows for your settings. So if that read assist feature, you can go slow, medium, or fast. The highlighting of the text can appear differently. The speech to text mode can be based on clicking or hovering. And if you go to translations, right now it's translating from English to Spanish, but you have access for English to all of these languages. Cancel. So that's just the support features in this navigation pane. So that is a lesson. And once again, if I'm finished, I click and go on to the next activity. And this is how you progress through the actual learning in this particular course. So that's how it works for a student. And I want to show you the difference. And it's not significant, but I do want to show you what you would do if this was a parent. So I'm going to log out as the student. I'm going to log back in. I'm still going to be Hank Aaron. And I'm going to still use the same password. But the only difference is I'm going to click this box that says log in as a parent. So I'm logging in as Hank Aaron's parent. This is going to look very, very similar. Once again, there are no messages, so all 4 tabs are right available or immediately available. If there was a message, it would go here. That message would need to be looked at. The biggest difference is you're going to see, well, the similarities are far greater than the differences. You see the latest activity. You can see these varying report cards, but the biggest difference is here. You see this highlightable course. Okay, so just a minute ago, we happened to be in first grade mathematics, and you can go in and you can see where they are, and you can see a lot of the same thing. But the one noticeable difference is if I was logged in as a student, underneath this hyperlinked course, it would say work in this course. So if a parent goes in to kind of look around and see what's going on, it's not going to mistake you for the student, because if it's the student, it's going to be tracking time. It's going to be tracking like how much did you do any work in here. So the nice thing about that is you can log in and you can see everything, but it knows that you are the parent, not the student. So it's not going to see potentially 15 minutes of inside the course and why is this student not doing work. So that's the biggest difference with the parent. So you'll just to kind of review that, if you go back to that login screen, you'll use the same credentialing, the same username, the same password, but just make sure you click that login as parent, or it's going to be thinking that your student is working on the learning. Thanks, and I hope this helps. Bye.